Hey class. Okay, today we are talking about technology. This is the first part of our technology talk. So we're talking, I'm kind of calling this hardware. That's not strictly the breakdown, but um, so this week we're going to talk about kind of the tools and the machines and the things that you use. So we've mentioned this, I don't know, early on in the semester when I talk about hireable skills. When employers see a new LIS graduate, one of the things that they think is, ooh, technology skills. Great. Um, but, and I know I've said this before. I mean, a lot of you may have been coding from a very young age. You've had a huge percentage of your life that you spent building websites, building actual physical computers, all of that. Fantastic. I mean, that's great. Certainly no problem with that. And some of you are kind of scared of email. um, that's less ideal, but all you have to do is get better at things. There's no standard of perfection that the profession is asking you to attain. So that's okay. Now, there are going to be a lot of opportunities, though, for you while you're at Simmons. You can take different kinds of technology classes in the department, but I mean, look around, go to some of the webinars that they have. And it depends, when you're here and if you're on campus and all that. Things may be more and less accessible through Simmons, but that's a good place to start. Also, have you looked around at like Coursera, edX, lynda.com? Did they get bought by somebody? I don't know. If they didn't, they still exist as lynda.com. And all of those are places that are either free or would be extremely low cost and probably free with your library card to sign up for classes, to sign up for material, to pick up a few skills. So you don't necessarily need to be an expert in Java programming, but I took a free class through Coursera, and I'm not an expert, but at least I have a little bit more of a vocabulary. I can talk with people a little bit about it. I understand what I'm looking at because being able to build databases and stuff like that, it's important. It's useful, matters. One of the most basic technology things, turn the computer off, turn it back on. I don't know. Is it magic? I think it's magic. I'm sure there's a good technology explanation for why that works, but I don't know it. I just know that it does. So do that. The next thing about technology is make sure it's plugged in. Yeah, the library technology people I know grit their teeth angrily about the number of times that all of them have to be dragged out of their office to come fix this computer that just is broken. And somebody kicked the plug out of the floor, or kicked it out of the wall. It's easy to do. So check that. The other skill that I think is extremely important, has been very important in my career, is unjam the printer. I hate printers. I mean, I love the concept of printers. I hate printers with such a white hot passion because they never work. They absolutely never work. At my current place of work, yeah, I have to keep an eye on the printers all the time. And pretty much everything that goes wrong is completely outside of my ability to do anything with it, because it's not usually as simple as just a printer jam. I've talked with the IT people here, and they assure me that yes, printers are evil. So good, it's not just me. It may be you too. If it's not you too, it will be. If it's not you, you haven't had to fix the public's printer problems yet. You will. Good luck. We'll be fine. So technology, of course, plays a role in everything that we do. And so next week, we're going to talk about how that impacts you on a little bit more individual basis, and how it impacts the work that you're going to do with your patrons on a little more individual basis. But for this week, think about those big picture things. Think about the ILS, the information library systems, that that catalog that will be in your library. It will be bad. It will not work well. It will be frustrating. I don't even know what system you have. I don't know where you're going to be. And I am forecasting the future and telling you it will be bad. They're all bad. The state that I'm in right now, I'm in an academic library, and we use the library system called ALMA, ALMA. We went from Aleph to ALMA, and a lot of academic libraries across the country have done that. I've never, ever, ever read anyone who has said a nice thing. I spend a lot of time with ALMA just swearing quietly, and just being baffled there are hundreds of help videos. None of them have ever actually helped me. When I was trying to learn to use it, I kept getting a hold of our system who managed Alma for us and saying, don't you have just some basic information on how this works for people who are new to it? Oh no, why would we have that? I did get a hold of the manufacturer who told me that for $1,500 they could come train me. And I said, that's more than my book budget. So no. Yeah, it's interesting. If you have a better one, I would be super interested in hearing about it. But this is the other fun thing about technology tools in real libraries. I wouldn't be able to buy it. Wouldn't matter how inexpensive it was. We can only buy things together as a consortium across the state. And every big library is like this, especially the academic libraries. They have to band together to try and get preferred vendor pricing. I know, it sounds boring, doesn't it? It is, but this is part of technology, is understanding all of that. So working with vendors, working with contracts, working with pricing, that's going to be an important part of the technology work you do. So you want to understand how different kinds of technology work. You also want to be able to understand how you can get them into your library. And that's talking with vendors, trying to establish good contract terms, trying not to just completely lose your mind. Don't do that. Take a nice deep breath and it's going to be fine. We'll be good. All right. Next week, we're going to talk a little bit more about some individual stuff. All right. Bye-bye.